You know, some people will get that first failure and they be like, this ain't for me.
Right.
What caused you, what was in you that made you
Right.
say, I gotta keep going?
I had to because do you need me to wait till it
Wanna
stops?
go?
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I don't need it.
Oh, okay. You sure? You wanna let it stop ringing?
Yeah, I
I
don't.
think the phone ringing.
Yeah, let me take it off the hook.
Oh, let me get your mic. As you know, as when you're a boss, it never stops. Phone
Never
always
stops.
ringing when you're a
Something
boss.
going
This is
on.
live. This is real boss talk, y'all. This is really boss talk, and
It
we did
don't
not plan
stop.
this.
My name is Myesha Cain, and I am a master cosmetologist. I am a salon owner as well. I've been in the industry now since 1997, and I've been licensed since 2000.
You're a master cosmetologist.
Master.
Now, I know before a person becomes a master at something,
Right.
they got to start at the very beginning. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this interview.
Okay.
So tell me,
Okay.
where's Myesha from? How did her journey begin?
Woo, so Myesha is from Augusta. I went to A.R. Johnson Magnet School, graduated in 1995. And I was supposed to go there. I could keep up pretty much with schoolwork, but I always knew I wanted to do hair. So that never left, but I went because your parents want you to go do the right thing. There was no money in doing hair back then, so they thought. And so we did, and I actually graduated in 95, and I had my daughter in 95. I was actually graduating with her. Let me know if it's too much information. Okay, great.
No, it all speaks to your journey.
Right.
Because that's, I don't think, for
Right.
many people, that's not a simple task.
No,
So
no.
kind of, what was that like?
Right. It was challenging, but it wasn't difficult. It was only as difficult as I made it, meaning not doing what I was supposed to do or did other things just because everybody else was. But the parenting part was no problem. Of course, I had help with my family, so that really worked out. So, and I said that to say this because when I had my daughter, my mom was working, at I don't know, at some place, wherever the office was, and I don't know if I want to put it out, but she had close friends as well. So what ended up happening was, because I had my daughter, this lady, my mom's mutual friend, also had a daycare. And because she had a daycare, my daughter was able to go there, and she had a best friend who was a pioneer in the industry that needed an assistant to help. So that's kind of exactly where it got started. And so then this lady literally taught me everything I knew, like from cutting, coloring, and I was just assisting her. All she had to do was style. I did everything from the top to the bottom. Now keep in mind, I went to a magnet school. I never went to cosmetology school. I never took it in high school. I never took it in trade school. I just loved doing hair. And so once we did that, I worked for her for so many years. And then I just wasn't comfortable with being someone else's assistant. It's a great job and it's a great start, but just being the assistant just wasn't enough for me. So my cousin was another pioneer in the industry, and she allowed me to work under her license. And at that point, I could work and do my own thing and make my own money and, and then still perfect my craft. Now, at that time, this was almost I started with her in 97, so this was like 90, maybe like 99, 98, 99. So I worked. I didn't know how to use a curler. I didn't know how to use anything. All I knew how to do was shampoo, relax, color, all that great stuff. So I was learning as I went. I never quit. I loved it every day. I still love it every day. If I could do it every day and I could pay it, I probably could. It's just one of those things. I just love it.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
I do.
Wow. I've never seen, so that's going to lead me into my next question. So, like, what is it about, I guess, doing hair that gives you that feeling about it? Like, is it?
Why do I love it so?
Yeah.
I honestly think it's because it was given from God. Honestly, it's a gift. Everybody can't do it. And I feel like I don't have any hair books. People can show me a hairstyle that they want, but I'm going to get it wrong. If you show me what you want, I'm going to get it wrong. Because immediately when I talk to you and we have a conversation, it's like I get a style for that person. So then it just flows. So then you know that those things are from God because they flow. They come from within. It's nothing nobody can teach you how to do. Me doing hair did not come from anything. I had people to help me along the way, but it was nothing that no one could tell me what I needed to do or how to do it. They could show me. So I think he put those people in place. And when before I had my daughter and I graduated from A.R. Johnson, a magnet school, I had got accepted to UGA and was headed there, but that wasn't the path that I was supposed to take. So, and I'm grateful for the path. It's been a hard path, but it's so rewarding. I love it.
Wow. So, do you think like if you would have went to UGA, you don't think you would have met the fruition today that you had?
I believe it would have still been in me, but it would have been so dormant because I would have did something else. And I think I could do anything personally if I put my mind to it, but if I don't love it, I would quit. I probably would. It wouldn't hold my interest. And I would only be doing it for the money. And I never did this for the money. The money is great, but it's never been about the money. Yeah, for me.
We were talking about you trying to get your certification.
Right.
And as I said, it took you at least 4 tries. You expressed in your bio to get to that point. And I just want to ask, because I know me, sometimes I've been easily defeated, Right. And but in your case, you looked the challenge in the eye and was like, I'm gonna beat this. How did you get to that point?
How did I get there? First of all, I never thought that I would not be able to pass the test. I mean, A.R. Johnson wasn't the easiest. It was a magnet school, but I figured as long as I apply myself, then I'll make it happen. It never failed. And so it was time to take the test, but I was so busy doing what I love. So I was working every day, day in, day out, building my clientele. I was just living a good life. I mean, just sailing through. And it was time to take the test, but I never had taken a standardized test and how serious it was. So we got to test time, and you needed a 70 to pass. And my scores were 64, 67, 68, and then a 70.
So each time
it was closer. So that's the only thing that kept me in it, because I knew if I gave up, it would all been in vain, because I knew for me, this is what I was supposed to be doing. It wasn't like somebody told you, oh, you could do hair, go ahead and do it, because nobody's seen it. Everybody that saw me doing hair was in it with me as I started getting a little bit better with this or a little bit better with that. And so I had to. There was no choice. My family was dependent on it, especially my child. But by then I had 2. So my daughter was 3 and my son was 1. They depended on me. I depended on myself. Yeah. And besides, there was nothing else that I thought of that I would want to do. I could have did anything, but nothing was more than doing hair for me.
Looking back at that moment, what if you didn't? What if you said, you know what, I'm not going to take it again. I guess maybe it's just not from. What do you feel would have happened if you decided not to take it for that fourth time?
I think I would have worked somewhere, and then I would have went back to it. I don't think it was one of those things where if you just, it never was. I can't really even answer that properly because what if was never in my mind, like, what if I didn't? Or what if I do something else? I never even thought about it.
Describe, because I love talking to my locals.
Right.
I love talking to people who really from the city.
Right.
Describe Augusta
Okay.
for people who may have never been before.
Okay.
Give me, how would you describe Augusta, being that you're from here?
Augusta, for me, is a place of growth, but it's also a place of beginnings. You can always start somewhere, and then you can make whatever out of your start. It's not like you have to be a big time, like big cities. Like you got to go in ready to make it, just because you'll get lost. But for me, Augusta, you can start like I started as an assistant, and then I went from assistant to a stylist, and from a stylist to a salon owner. If I went to Atlanta, I would need to be a salon owner probably going in just to make it, or you'll get discouraged possibly, but it's enough. I call it enough normal, that you could find something to build on. And even with families, as far as my clientele, I have a lot of people that come back from military because it's a place to settle. It's a place to plant roots. It's always been that place. It's a place to always come back to. Mm-hmm. There's some good solid roots in Augusta. Mm-hmm. I've always felt.
Mm-hmm. What do you feel like? What's that next thing you feel like Augusta could use to kind of make it more, I guess, structured for people like yourself who are, who start off small, but we have big aspirations, big city aspirations to own our own businesses and, establish generational wealth for our families. And what do you feel like a city like Augusta could use to make more opportunities available for up and coming entrepreneurs?
I feel like a lot, what we really, really need is for the ones that are really planted and deep rooted in Augusta to start not really taking a back seat in what they're doing, but maybe taking a hand out to help those in those fields to grow into their next. So let's say if I'm being a hairstylist, I implemented an apprentice program. So if you want to be a hairstylist or salon owner, then you would start there. And then that way you will build your way up and let me figure out what can we do to get you to your next. And I think that's really, really what we need, because we have everything. It's just putting it together and building off of what we have.
Myesha, before we began this interview, you said something that stood out to me. You said, I started my business plan in 2008.
I did.
It's 2021.
Right.
And you said you are just now seeing the manifestation of your business plan. Can you just kind of walk us through that really quickly? Explain that.
So out of everything, of anything for anyone, especially for me, whenever you go through, you always have to take yourself out of the equation and see, why did I have to do this? Why did I have to take this route? Why me? Not for a woe is me type of feeling. You just want to look at and what could I learn from it. So I feel like me having my daughter was a blessing. Me having to work with this lady as an assistant was a blessing. Me failing my test 4 times definitely was a blessing. So what can I do to fix this so the next person that wants to be a stylist or salon owner, wouldn't have all of these hiccups. There will be hiccups, but what can I do to, at the best of my ability, so they will get to their next, like helping them out. So I think and so I started in 2008 with the business plan, and the business plan never changed. It only catered to the era we were in, or that we're in now, but it never changed. The substance of it never changed. It was always to help an aspiring individual become efficient in this field of cosmetology. So,
speaking to, there's going to be a day where I feel like there's going to be a young, not even dark skin, but there's going to be a young woman who looks just like you.
right.
A young black girl who looks just like you, who could see herself doing what you're doing. Your story might inspire her. What type of words of wisdom would you lead to a young girl who probably thinking, maybe I can't be the boss, maybe I gotta, or those women who might still be playing the assistant role,
right.
who know that they have all the talent to be, what would you say to them?
Right. For me, for that young lady or male, you have to know for yourself what it is that you deserve. Always go with your dreams or what you believe that's placed inside of you, and never make a decision based on a circumstance or an obstacle that you might come up to. Like me failing a test, I could have quit. That wasn't the end. So you never base your decision on anything or anybody, just only on you. You are responsible for your greatness. Not no one, nothing, or nothing in this world would change what God has already placed in you. Just keep pushing. Hi, my name is Myesha Cain. I am the owner of Salon Hair Network, and you're watching Boss Talk on Film is Life TV.